Oh my gosh. You try to make someone a star and they flop. I know. You see. My moment.
And be so wonderful.
Live life. Breathe it. I know somehow. Y'all. Hey.
Hey, y'all.
How y'all doing?
What show is that from where they're like, hey, and it's like, ee.
I think it's Little Women Atlanta. They show up to the party and they're like, how y'all doing?
I was singing a song on my own volition. And Brandon's like, you should sing that for the intro. And as soon as he said it, I got nervous.
Stage fright.
As soon as the
You didn't have a
started,
problem taking my moment
last time
or the time before.
Because I thought about it for a week. No, I'm just kidding.
I was preparing myself all week.
I was rehearsing in the shower. Obi critiqued the performance. We were doing all of it.
The minute I hear recording has started, I'm going to hit that note.
So that's what that intro was.
But we're in a good mood today. Today was a good day.
I have a headache, but I'm in a great mood today.
We love. Well, we had a good workout.
We crushed it. We lift some heavy stuff. Mm-hmm. And we're getting stronger.
Yes.
And I'm quitting at 45. But I'm not going to quit the grind. And Brandon, I am planning to get a membership at EOS.
Okay.
If you've noticed, it's very close by.
It is very close.
So if you would ever like to accompany me, I plan to get a membership with a guest pass.
Oh. Well, you know what the toxic thing about me is? I have a membership that I keep forgetting to cancel.
Dead right now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I always forget because it's really not that much. And then I notice it by the end of the month.
One?
I think so. It's like blue or something. It's like $20, which isn't nothing. I should cancel. But I don't notice it. I'm always like, da, 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 da. And then by the end of the month, no.
Oh, Brandon. Shit. Give it to me.
They make you go in.
Yeah, you have to go in and cancel.
Which is so annoying.
Do you want me to go in with you so you can cancel?
Maybe I'll go with you one day and I'll cancel. I just forget, and my mom would be so annoying and remind me. I'm like, Mom, leave me alone. I'll do it. And then I never do it.
Oh, you've had one for a while.
It's been a minute.
I'm weak.
I did used to go.
You should be on one of those Rocket Money apps. I'll give you this designer bag if you tell me how many subscriptions you have. Oh, I only have one. 20 subscriptions later.
Well,
so you don't want to come with me?
Maybe I will one time. You know, I'm keeping my F45 membership just because I like going there, and I have faith that Maggie will come back.
I plan to. I just need to quit for a little bit.
You know, save some money.
Money, honey. The money, honey.
It is expensive. They really should cut down the prices.
Oh, I'm dead. So the manager called me today. Called me twice. I was like, that's kind of obnoxious.
Who?
The manager, yeah.
Oh.
You know him.
Oh, him.
And he called me twice and left me a voicemail. He called me at 9:36 and 9:37. Maybe he forgot to leave the voicemail. I don't know. He called me. He was like, hey, I saw you're canceling. Give me a call back. And I was like, okay. And then I called him back and I was very nervous because this person is very long-winded.
Oh, yes.
And they were only slightly long-winded this time. I was like, yeah, I'm coming in later. I'll try to make conversation. And he is like, I just finished getting my certification to be a trainer.
Oh.
But it's annoying because if I train, I don't get paid because I'm already on payroll. And talked about that for a minute or two, not much. And then was like, well, I'm sad to see you go. You know, if you'd like, I'll give you $25 off.
That ain't nothing.
Y'all, the membership is 7 times 25. It's over $150.
Yeah.
So you giving me $25 off after I tell you I'm trying to save and whatnot
does nothing.
Thank you, though.
I mean, it's an effort.
It is an effort.
It's something. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's going to be sad. It's going to be depressing. I'm going to feel like I'm losing my other half.
Oh my gosh, Brandon, you're going to be fine. Kelsey is there.
For now. She'll be there for a while.
And
I
then
believe in
what's
her.
his name likes you?
Who?
The one with the mohawk mullet. The short one who you told me I knew him, but I didn't know him.
Oh, but he's like never
Petey?
there. Yeah, but he's never there. Not at the times we go.
You can make friends, Brandon. Also, who needs friends?
That's true.
Like, I like on the days I go by myself, I'm pretty antisocial. Like, I'll be like, hey, I'm Magdala, fist bump, and then we'll work out. And if they want to talk to me during the workout, I'll talk to them. But like, lock in, work out, get the game.
No, it's fine. You know, it just felt like a sense of community and camaraderie, and like we were together in something with mind, body, and spirit. But and it just feels like when you're abandoned so many times in life by people who claim to be friends.
Oh, Jesse, relax.
Wait, why did I think of Jesse from The Valley? Because he's also talking about how lonely he is.
Oh.
If y'all watch The Valley, y'all know.
I just meant for the drama factor.
Oh, yes, he is very
Brandon,
dramatic.
I get it. I'd feel a way too if it was me.
No, but it's fine. I get it. Saving money. I have faith you will come back.
Or just come to EOS since you already have a membership.
I could. I do have a membership, so maybe on the days I don't feel like
for us.
I could. Yeah, you were showing us that.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a
$100
mix.
$+.
But I like the coaches.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
And I see results.
It's easy, man. F45 is so easy. You just get in and get out. It's
Yeah.
just pricey, and if you're busy at 5:30 because you work late, then you miss the whole day, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So pros and cons.
Much like so much of life, much like Jesse and Lexi's relationship.
We have some tea, Brandon, to discuss.
We do.
Because folks, at least on TikTok, I know in other places, are either on Ciara's side, mad at Ciara, on Lexi's side, mad at Lexi. I don't think I can have an opinion because I don't know enough. But her comment on Watch What Half Is Live was interesting.
Whose?
Lexi.
What did she say?
Wait, isn't that where she went?
When?
To say that
About the
two people were,
birthday?
yeah.
No, that was like the virtual reality podcast. Although I feel as though the story was a tad misleading.
That's what I was about to say. Tell us why, Brandon, because you probably know better than me.
So let's get into this because I actually have a lot of thoughts.
Oh, we're matching!
And we're matching. Look at us. This is actually Giggly Squad merch, funny enough.
Oh, that's funny.
Sorry, I'm on voice
Mine is a jacket from I don't know.
somewhere. It's cute.
Tan.
It's tan. Okay, so Lexi, which we mentioned last episode, how Lexi did an interview and she said the interviewers asked, Jesse and Ciara posting pictures together and it feels like they're rubbing it in your face. How do you feel? And she goes, well, I will say I did have a birthday party in the fall to which I invited the whole cast. And the two people who didn't respond and didn't show up ended up hanging out together that day.
So this is insinuating that Ciara and Jesse are hanging out, getting more exclusive, essentially is what people are, I feel like she's kind of leading people to believe, which is not necessarily the case. Because I heard only 4 invites went out. Is that right?
I don't even know about that. All I know is only allegedly 2 people went. Only Gabby and Emerald. From her story, it sounded like the whole cast went except for them.
Right.
And then they hung out together. Which...
Lexi, the way attendance works is that you have a list of people and then some show up and some don't. If 2 people came and 8 people didn't, and 2 of those just happen to be people that you're not happy with, you can't insinuate that they're together.
Right. Now, look, conversation to be had if, let's say Ciara, because I don't give a fuck about Jesse. If she didn't respond and if they hung out together, I want to know the details.
Right. It could have been anything.
It could have been anything. It could have been maybe she forgot to respond. It could have been anything like that. It could have been more innocent than it was led to be.
Right. What if another cast member had something going on that same day and everybody was at that?
Yeah.
Or maybe they went to another event together. Like, just because they were together doesn't mean they're together.
Yes. And look, I actually like Lexi, but I peep her game a little bit in these interviews, because she'll throw out some things like, they're like, oh, do you talk to the girls? And she's like, well, we have a girl group chat, and I asked everybody, what are we wearing to the reunion? And Lindsay and Gabby responded. But then kind of, throughout. And there's a narrative online that the other girls are quote unquote mean girls to her. And then it's like, I know she's online. I know she's seen. And maybe she does feel a type of way.
Yeah.
But it's not. But then it's followed by a smile like, I hope we can all get close. And it's like, but have you reached out to them?
Right. Like... Lexi, you kind of spent the summer up under Jesse.
Which is fine.
But I don't know if you can expect friendship and loyalty, or at least consistency, from people who aren't really that close to you. I have 109 unread text messages.
She does. It's crazy.
110 like, now. It's just been a busy week. Perhaps it was a busy week.
It could have been. And Ciara, she hosted something at Us Weekly. Ciara's been in her hosting bag lately. She did something for the Sinners movie as well. But she was interviewed, and they had asked, like, oh, have you talked to Lexi? And she's like, people have talked in the group chat, like, with the girls. And, like, but I haven't really been in New York since, like, since, like, January.
Yeah, that part. Ciara was out of the country also for traders for, like, 3 months.
Well, that was before.
Okay.
But like,
before
I think
her birthday?
yes,
okay.
That was before the season even aired or filmed.
Okay.
But I think she was out of the country doing something. She like posted pictures. Yeah. So it's just like, people are busy.
Yeah.
I don't think there's beef, but I don't know. It's complicated.
It is. I really hope that she addressed it, tried to say something to them before she went on all these interviews, because
I don't think she did.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
Especially because we're seeing this season, they actually are having her back, despite what the internet tries to say. But the internet's so wishy-washy, I can't.
Right. I was going to say, as much as you can have the back of an acquaintance, I feel like they're doing more than that, honestly.
Right. And all the internet's been saying is like, the girls are taking Jesse's side. They're not having Lexi's back. They dropped a sneak peek before the episode aired last night, and it was the scene of Amanda telling Lexi about what Jesse was saying behind her back. Most of the comments, I don't like this side of Amanda. She's not a girl's girl. This is crazy.
How, Sway?
She's telling Lexi what he's saying. That is what y'all wanted. This is what she should be doing. What do you mean?
Okay, I can understand. Like, I don't know. I think people are reading into it too much. Because even I saw the 3 girls in matching outfits. Amanda, Ciara, and Paige had matching outfits for the party. And then Gabby was in the kitchen and had her own outfit. And I was like, oh, maybe they could have included Gabby. But it's like, we don't know the nuances and dynamics of what goes on here.
Yeah, and like
the 3 of them are in bed together all the time. So after I thought about it for a second, it made sense. But to just quickly assume something about a situation that you're not even like fully understanding of. Like, I get why they might think that Lexi's being left out, but I don't know, man.
It's weird because, the 3 of them, they do this because the internet would troll them for being like bed bugs and like all that. So that's why it's always just like them and only really them doing the party and everything. But it's just like, the internet tries to say that these 3 girls can sometimes be mean girls and cliquey and not include the other girls. This isn't true. The only girl they weren't including in the past was like Lindsay. Every other new girl they really got along with. And like, I would even say, I don't think they got that close with Gabby, but they were still cool with Gabby and liked Gabby. Like, she just wasn't like as close. And like, there's this other girl, season 4, her name was Jules, and the house was mean to her. But you want to know who's the nicest to her? Paige. You want to know who people try to rewrite history and say was a mean girl to her? Paige. But if you watch it back, the only girl who was ever nice to her was Paige. There was a couple snide like remarks in like the interviews, like shady moments, but that's just part of the show. Like, to her, she was like nice and like fought for her to stay in the house. So
I don't understand why women on reality TV are so scrutinized and so over-analyzed. Like, it's really annoying. Like, all of this energy should be directed at someone who's actually being messy, who's Jessie. Like, why are we even talking about Lexi and Ciara and the other girls? Like, let's focus on the real issue here. You know, like, I don't understand this. Like, how else should they be treating Lexi? They talk to her. Like, if Ciara was rude after Lexi was like, I thought you guys were like brother, sister. She was honest and told her what was up and left it there. Like, there was no beef, no animosity, nothing. Ciara only has animosity slightly for Jessie. Like, I don't understand how is she being a mean girl? Like, anyway.
She's not. And this leads me to Nick Viall.
Oh gosh, what did he say?
Nick Viall, I'm sorry, he's a weirdo and he's obsessed with Ciara.
Oh really?
Like, he literally, because I hate myself, I'll sometimes listen to the Viall Files. Also because, like, in accounting, there's like a lot of, you listen to a lot of podcasts, and there's only so many. So, like, I'll listen to that because they recap like Bravo shows. I only listen to those parts. The episodes are like 2 hours long. But every time they cover Summer House, he defends Craig. He's Team West. And he always tries to blame Ciara for the West situation. And when I tell you no one ever agrees with him, none of his co-hosts ever agree with him, to the point he gets upset. He hates when people disagree with him. He's one of those. He will put up a fight. He'll belabor his point to the point where, like, the comments are like, Nick, people can disagree with you. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But, like, his thing with Ciara, he just really wants her to, like, be the bad guy. He's like, oh, you know, with Ciara, she just, like, tried to convince this guy to like her despite him saying he wasn't ready. And then when it ended, she can't accept that her ego's hurt and all this. Like, all this shit. Mind you, if you watch the season, West heavily pursued Ciara. Ciara held him at arm's length to the point where people thought she was dragging him along. So it wasn't that at all. And then he just keeps going on and on. He had this comedian, Ray Sawney, on this week. And I love Ray Sawney. I think she's so funny. She's had multiple podcasts. She's been a guest on podcasts. She does not like Ciara at all. And she's very forthcoming with that. I don't agree with anything she says, really. Like, there's some things I see where she's coming from. But, like, I like her. So, like, I don't care. But Nick, I know, brought this girl on to bash Ciara. And he told on himself. Because literally, when Ray joins, he's like, you know, I've been seeing, like, your tweets and, like, you online. And we thought it would be great to get your takes. We could start with Summer House. Like, it's just crazy.
You just want someone online to agree with you or on your life.
Right. And that's what he said after all that. He's like, I'm glad someone finally agrees with me about Ciara. And literally, the clip he posts about Ciara, I actually agreed with somewhat what Ray said. She was basically saying, if I looked like Ciara, I wouldn't let someone like Jessie touch me. Like, my standards would be a high. Like,
but that's her friend.
I know, but I think they think that she likes Jessie, and, like, they're under those.
Oh, like, touch you, like, get close to you to date you?
Right.
Okay.
And I'm like, she can't do better than Jessie. So I agree with all that.
Yeah.
But then they try to say, like, oh, she's a pick-me and all this. Is she a pick-me, or is she just getting picked? Because these guys are going to her.
How is she a pick-me?
Because she's, like, friendly and nice. And, like, literally, it's so stupid.
Okay, what's the race of this Ray person?
She's black.
Oh my God.
She doesn't like Ciara. She doesn't. She's very. And she also said about West, like, oh, we need I think the internet was too hard on him because people need to leave room for people being
I'm so tired.
Bad in relationships. But what was annoying about that clip too is it starts with Nick, like, propping himself up and crossing his legs, just, like, ready for her to, like, bash Ciara and, like, smiling. And I'm like, Nick, you are so obvious. I can't with you.
Well, I'm glad you clocked it.
And it's unfortunate because at first I was like, Ray, like, I feel like, I mean, Ray is funny and I like her. So, like, I was glad she was on, but I was like, knowing Nick, I'm like, you definitely brought her on just to say that shit about Ciara. And I was like, oh, you kind of used her for that. But I honestly, hindsight 2020, I'm like, Ray, you just got to like show how funny you were on like this big platform and all that. So you got that. And Ciara, honestly, this guy keeps talking about you and you don't even have to acknowledge his existence.
You're living rent free.
Y'all are both winning. And Nick just looks pathetic.
Oh gosh.
So
well, I was gonna say at first I was curious about the race thing because I often feel like black women on reality TV are overly scrutinized. There's like a heavier microscope on them and their behavior and what they say and what they do. Me being friendly with you is overly, I'm being a pick me, but Lexi being friendly with you is she's just really nice. You know, sometimes people like that. But now it's like, okay, it seems like the misogyny of it all. Like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. A man's perspective of what you did is always right. And I don't like that.
And I will say, Ray did say overall that Jesse, like, she called him a terrorist and said that he's awful and like a dirtbag and all this. Like, she was going in on Jesse, but she was also like,
okay, good.
Well, Ciara's just being lame because she doesn't tell him not to be handsy or like respect herself enough to not like look like that. And I'm like,
look like what?
Like just look like a pick me and like have because she says
only
she's like
you see her
she keeps tripping off of all these guys who are dweebs like West, Jesse, Austin, and I mean they are all dweebs and Ciara can do better, but she's also not with Jesse, so it's kind of just like,
yeah, you can't lump him into that category. And God forbid the lady have a type. Okay, if that's her type and it's not your type, God forbid she has a type.
You know.
Anyway,
look, we protect Ciara at all costs.
That's how I feel. So when you told me, when we were talking about it briefly last week, I was like, Ciara? Jesse? Like, it just didn't sound right. Even if she's with Jesse, like, I just need to hear her tell me, you know? Right. I'm not going to do all this speculating and deep diving. I'm going to wait for Ciara to tell us what's up. And then, you know, obviously it's her life. She can do whatever she wants. I'm not even going to comment on anything or whatever. But I just feel like I want to hear her perspective because I feel like everybody is over analyzing something that we don't fully understand. Lexi, give us the whole guest list before you say Ciara and Jesse weren't there.
Right.
And they can pose for pictures at Coachella. They're friends.
Right. And they weren't like kissing. Like it was very obvious they're posting this because they know y'all are going to talk about it. But I will say there was this TikTok, I'll send it to you, where this girl was really like kind of explaining how like Ciara and like the Jezebel trope and how a lot of her criticism is rooted in like racism.
I did see that actually.
And Ciara commented and she was like, I feel so seen.
Yes.
And like had like a sad face. And
that's
I was just like,
kind of what I was describing earlier. Like, I just feel like some black women are just super heavily scrutinized. It reminds me of Taylor Hale, Big Brother. Like, the girl couldn't breathe. And everybody's like, she's so mean. She called me fat.
She's awful. She said, what is that face?
And then afterwards, they're all like, we wish we would have worked with Taylor. So
after she's winning everything.
Right. Now that she's all important and interesting. Anyway.
But with that, should we get into the episode?
Yeah, I feel like that's all I wanted to talk about. I was going to comment on Paige and Craig, but I feel like it's fine.
What about them?
I don't remember.
Paige was on Watch What Happens Live this week.
Oh, she was?
Great appearance. Looked amazing. Great answers.
Killed off it. Queen. Yeah, no, I think it's okay. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so this episode, a lot of it was kind of like prepping for the Snoozefest party. There was a lot of things that happened, but it was pretty like not stagnant, but just like they didn't do too much, which was fine.
Right.
And then the end was like the Snoozefest, great party. How did it start? It started with all them arriving at the house.
Yeah, it started with Jesse on the phone with West, I think.
Yeah, I think they were in the car.
Oh, they were in the car, yeah.
Yeah, they were driving together. And then he was bringing up like just not wanting how he's changed with Lexi, and Lexi wants him to act better.
Right. And he's like, I've changed so much. I told my friend to stop touching my arm, and he said something else. And I was just like, yeah.
I unfollowed the girls on Instagram.
He's like, I'm being a good boy. Anyway.
Schwartz shows up.
Yeah.
We didn't need that.
No.
What
did he add, guys? What did he add?
He added someone for Kyle to complain about not having a kid yet, despite Amanda saying she wanted a kid last season and Kyle saying he didn't yet. So that's what he added.
I didn't even know that.
A mess. They're arriving. Ciara.
Wait, what happened to his butthole?
Whose?
Tom's butthole.
Oh, he got like sick or something after a trip to Mexico.
Oh.
And I think something happened. Like,
I was like, why did they bring that up? Okay.
Yeah. They came to visit when he was with Katie. Them and Stassi and Beau visited like season 3.
Okay.
They would sometimes have them visit because Summer House needed like ratings, and they were like, bring Vanderpump in because it'll bring stuff. Now they don't do it as much, although they do it a little bit.
Okay.
Ciara shows up, and then Jesse tries to greet her, and she fist bumps him, and he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, I thought we couldn't touch. I think you need to worry more about your toe than about me, but we can fist bump. I'm like, I know that's right.
She said, look, I can't touch you. I can't touch you. I can't even breathe the same air as you. I can't even be in the same house as you. When you're inside, I'm gonna be outside.
And when you're outside, I'm inside.
She said, play with the wrong one. You want to do this? We're gonna do it.
She's not the one at all. Because like she said, she will hurt your feelings. But Paige isn't showing up. She's taking the Friday off because, as we know, she's an anxious mess because she's going through it because she hates her boyfriend and really wants to break up with him, but also still likes him. And then also is worrying about everyone else, as she should be, because as we said last episode, she was proven right. But she just needs some time alone, and I get it. And then the guys go out and the girls stay in.
Oh yeah, they send the guys away so that the girls can do crafts and have a little girls' night. And so the guys go to a restaurant, it looks like.
Yes, and then I think they went out to like a club type. But the guys' conversation was pretty funny actually, but like random.
Yeah.
It was like Jesse asked Carl about Ciara. And then Carl's just like, oh, Ciara's a great girl. Da, 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 da. And then this is where Jesse's just like, yeah, I think she's like mad at me because like I told her not to touch my arm. And I was like joking. And then she like got upset with me. And I could see Wes be like, oh, typical Ciara getting upset. But then Kyle, our king, he comes forward and kind of defends Ciara. He's like, wait, what happened? And then he was just like, well, everyone was telling me I was too handsy with Ciara. And he's like, but did Ciara say that? He's like, well, I was just trying to be good to Lexi. And he's just like, well, maybe it's kind of the way you did it at the event. He's like, I just don't know what to do. Sir.
He's like, anyway, I didn't hear anything he just said. I'm so confused. Like, literally, Kyle's spot on. Like, your reaction to somebody saying something is so extreme. It's like, it's almost passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh, I can't touch Ciara. I can't be around. I flirt too much with Ciara. Well, Ciara can't touch. Like, you're doing too much. We're just saying stop being so flirtatious and stuff. Like, relax.
And honestly, Lexi seemed more upset about you saying you wish you shot your shot with her last summer than the touching.
Right. Like, she told him something and he took it extreme. I feel like she was just like, you know, just be mindful of how you're flirting and talking to other girls. Maybe don't tell them you're horny.
Do you want me to be a robot?
Oh, gosh, he's so annoying. But I'm really glad Kyle said that.
Yeah.
And then there was something there was a moment, it could have just been chopped up, where the Carl conversation was happening and he said something about Ciara and then they show West.
Yeah, I don't know if I like blacked out at this moment, but I think it was after he was like, did you get an OTP HJ?
Oh.
And then I think it cut to Wes, but I don't even know why Jesse
Wes
asked
said like,
that.
oh, like missed opportunity. He said something like, dang it, or something. And I was like, oh, you're not funny. Okay.
Oh, you're not funny. Then they talk about porn preferences and Carl reveals his is tan lines.
Honestly, Carl is so cute to me. Like your bar idea or your business name, I think, is a little silly, but I do appreciate that he is himself and he doesn't care. He wears what are those shoes, and he has the business name that came from Europe, and he says that he likes tan line porn. Like, oh, Carl.
He is himself. You're right. That is true.
And it's almost like endearing because it's just like, wow, he's just being himself.
Yeah, this is true. And very from left field.
Maybe because I don't know him much too, though. But yeah.
Yeah, there's something with Carl. He's an interesting one. He's a lot more. I know he's always been kind of quirky.
Yeah.
So this is pretty on par, actually.
Yeah, or how he was like comfortable crying, you know, and thinking about his brother and stuff. Like,
You're like, do I like Carl?
I like men who are not afraid of their feelings, who don't sugarcoat things, because he's on national television. He could be acting however he wants, and he chooses to be himself.
True.
I feel like I would even be acting a little bit, but he is very much like, no, I like tan lines, you know? So, I don't know. It was endearing to me. And they were all like, tan lines?
Wes made me laugh the way he was giggling, I will say. I was like, that was funny. And then I think they just go out.
Yeah.
And dance. And
yeah,
stuff.
that was it.
So, but that was actually kind of funny. I was like, but again, Schwartz added nothing to it. Right. So, like, I don't know why
all he added was, I should buy shots for everybody, right? Sorry, shots for everybody.
After Jesse called him out because he was trying to just buy a shot for himself, and he's like, just for you? He's like, that is rude. Oh, shucks. Oh.
Is that rude?
It's not.
I don't know. Their lifestyle is above me.
But I also, like, if I'm getting a shot, I'd ask if anyone else wants a shot. But I don't know if I would pay for people's shots.
Yeah.
It all depends who I'm with. Because I wouldn't pay for any of their shots.
Because, like, on your birthday, I was like, get Brandon a shot. But I don't think I took one with you. I just wanted to get you drunk on your birthday.
I think you did get one.
Did I drink one?
Someone got one. There was multiple.
Oh, Katie, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or the guys.
So the girls, they're doing their arts and crafts.
They're
Everything looks cute.
Dream catchers.
Yes.
Dream stuff.
They're getting their girl dinner and all that.
Girl dinner.
And then Lexi's just kind of saying how, you know, Jesse, we're official, but we're not boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah, somebody asked her.
Yeah, maybe it was Lindsay. And then Gabby's like, they were like, oh, isn't official just boyfriend and girlfriend? And Gabby's
exclusive.
Like, oh, exclusive. Yes. And Gabby's like, no, exclusive is different. I saw it on TikTok. And I'm like, I need more Gabby. They're not showing her enough. I need more Gabby. I like Gabby.
When I saw that she was there this weekend, I was like, Gabby, yes, yay, Gabby.
But then they kind of separate, and then it's Lindsay, Amanda, and Ciara outside, and they're kind of talking about, like, they're not together, Jesse and Lexi.
Yeah.
And then Lindsay's like, he's just telling her, like, different things and, like, being weird with her. And then Amanda's like, I know, like, earlier, like, a couple weeks ago, he brought up the yellow flags and tried to make her look jealous, and it's bringing up all this stuff about her. I feel like I need to tell her. And basically, she's just like, I want to have Lexi's back, but I do really like Jesse. So someone's about to get hurt. And it's like, you're going to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly feel like this would have happened even if Lexi just asked. But I did think it was thoughtful that Amanda was, like, thinking about it already.
Yes. She was contemplating. She's like, I've gotten a lot of information.
Yeah.
And now it's time.
Now it's time.
So then I think that was pretty much it for the night. The guys get home. They're them.
Kyle wakes
Amanda up for the 18th time this season, probably.
I don't know why you would turn any speakers on in the middle of the night. Like, even downstairs. I was like, that's nobody, you haven't done that yet. Like, why are you doing that all of a sudden?
I don't know.
And they're like, did Amanda yell at you? He's like, yeah.
Time to go to bed. So next day, they're all prepping for the party and everything.
And Paige comes.
She shows up. She has their outfits and everything. And it's Gabby, Amanda, and Lexi are outside. And Amanda's just like, okay, now's the time. So she tells Lexi about how Jesse said she, like, seemed like the jealous type. And that she made him unfollow these girls on Instagram, and that she can't comment, or he can't comment under our pictures and all this. And she's like, I literally never said any of that. And she says, as far as the followers, she was getting DMs about Jesse and she was ignoring them. But then after Toegate, she's like, well, shit, maybe I should. Yeah. And I think she said in some interview outside the show that he was following like college girls and all this. And he's like 32.
Yeah.
And she was basically just like, you probably shouldn't do this. And like, so that's why she brought up the followers. And then as far as the commenting under people's pictures, she's like, I love that you comment under the pictures, but maybe don't say shit like, oh my gosh, you're the fucking hottest person in the world. Like, just like hype them up like in a different way.
Yeah. Maybe don't say you're going to date them, but maybe just say, hey girl, damn, you look good. You know, that was very reasonable to me.
I thought so, but Jesse apparently didn't. And Amanda's like, although that hurts my heart, because like jokingly, because Jesse always comments under her pictures the most. She's like, I get it, and like it's weird that he's like saying this, but it's like completely different,
right?
And then she's kind of saying how like he's trying to make her seem jealous, but he's the one that's constantly like calling, checking up on her, like acting really insecure to the point where she's like, I need a minute. And it's like funny how that is.
Yeah, because even at the dinner before, she was saying that she kind of wanted to take a step back a beat, like wasn't ready to be like in a relationship, like wanted to take it a little slower. So yeah, that's glad that she has this information now. But even just hearing her version of events, I feel like we heard it before. This doesn't sound like new information to me.
I think it's the first time she's told like Amanda and them.
Right.
Like,
but we heard her.
I think she said it to us before. She's like, he's always calling, always saying I love you.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yes.
So we kind of know all that. But now I think she's finally telling people.
Yeah.
So she's pissed.
Yeah. All three of them were very affirming, like, no, girl, this is what he said. This is what it seems like. But yeah. She's upset.
But also before this, I forgot. So Ciara comes downstairs. And she's just like telling the guys like, oh, y'all can help.
I need your help outside.
And Jesse's trying to tell a joke and is just like, you're my friend. And I just want to say, and she's like, I know you're not going to do anything. So it's fine. You can chill.
And he's like, dang, you even let me finish what I was going to say.
I'm like, no, bitch, you're not going to say your lame ass joke. No.
To who? What audience is here for you?
He's like, I was going to have my one-liner.
She's like, boys, I need your help. Well, no, it's okay, Jesse. I know you're not going to help anyway. Get him. Drag him.
I love her so much.
Okay, is she taking it a little too far? Maybe, but I would do that too.
I don't think so. It would be one thing if she was like, oh, fuck you, Jesse, all that. Even though I think at some point she will do that, I think at the party. But like, she's just like being real. Like, and also I think he is notorious for not really helping. So she's not telling a lie.
Yeah, I think because I'm like, oh, it was just the arm thing, but it's not. It's you flirted with me all weekend, then try to make me feel like it was my fault, and then try to tell me to step away. So I'm like, I needed to re-jog my memory. Ciara, you're a queen.
Period.
Me, this is the energy I wish. This is the way I wish I would stand on business.
No, right?
Because I definitely laugh at the joke. Like, oh, he's so nice. He didn't mean it.
He's so funny. Oh, let me not touch your arm. I can't. So they're doing all the decorations, and they make this big bed. The decorations look great. And I think this is where Paige and Amanda, or no, wait, okay, so I'm skipping ahead. Jesse goes up to Lexi, and now Lexi's pissed.
Yeah.
But even before that, though, he was like talking to Lexi and was just like, I think Ciara's mad at me. And I'm like, why are you telling that to her?
Right? Why don't you go ask Ciara why she's mad at you?
Right.
You big kid.
And so now Lexi knows, and then he's asking her like, oh, hey, what's up? And her energy has changed. And he's just like, why are you mad at me? And she's like, I don't want to talk about it right now. And he's like, well, okay, whatever. And so
then he goes outside. So Lexi's acting weird. She said she'll tell me later because she's not ready to tell me right now. I don't remember who he said it to.
I think to Wes, because then Wes goes up to Paige and Amanda on like the big bed.
Yeah.
And Wes is just like, oh, Jesse, I think she's mad him.
Yeah.
They're like,
why is
Lexi?
Jesse in the doghouse right now?
Yeah, and Amanda's like, I think it's my fault. And Paige is like, nice.
What'd you do?
Right. And then, so Amanda says how she had a conversation with Lexi, and Wes tries to be like, she did make him unfollow girls, and I feel like it's too early to do that. And Amanda's like, I did bring that up, but it turns out she didn't do that, and apparently she was getting a bunch of DMs about him. And Wes is just like, ooh.
Wes shut up real quick. He was
He
like,
did.
oh, that's not good.
Right. And then she's just like, and he's trying to make her look like the jealous one, but she's saying he's the one always calling her and all this. And Wes is like, I've seen it. Like, he was like calling her like an hour before we were home and was just like, oh, I'll call you soon. And it's just like, we're going to see her in an hour. Like, I didn't think he'd be like this. Like, am I right? Like, he's really clingy, right, girls? I'm like, oh, Wes, why are you acting like this all summer? Maybe Ciara would have forgiven you. Maybe we would have liked you. I was like, okay, Wes.
Wait, not Wes telling the truth.
Who would have thought?
Not your friend dragging you too.
I can't believe you're like talking right now. Neither Paige nor Amanda's holding a microphone and a notepad. So,
yo, that was so satisfying because I really thought Wes was just gonna be like, yeah, no, Lexi, but he actually
he was kind of like, well,
actually, I have noticed a little bit of jealousy. Now that you mention it, he is a little clingy in most situations, but definitely this one. Yeah, I mean, to be in a car ride for an hour and be like, oh, I'm gonna call you soon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't care if that's how Jesse is in a relationship. That's fine. Just don't go call the girl jealous and clingy when you're acting
right. It's just like, I don't know. It's a projection, which
Definitely.
I think some of the girls say. I think Paige or maybe someone says, just like, this is showing his insecurity. Mm-hmm. So it's party time. Paige, Ciara, and Amanda are slaying in their outfits. I love them. I love that they made like a gown that was like a bed sheet. And Paige was like,
that was cute.
If we want to not be in the party, we can hide under the bed sheet.
It was cute.
And I'm like, oh. And then everyone's getting ready. Everyone looks nice. Lindsay's was a little jarring to me. The bear.
Oh, the bear. I thought it was cute because it was like short.
It was. Well, I liked the second one, but the first one, I was like, something about the face freaked me out, I think. I don't get why Kyle was a sloth.
I don't like the sloth thing. I don't like masks like that.
Yeah, I don't either. And I just didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a sleepy sloth somewhere in some image.
Right.
West, I kind of liked his, except for the fact that it was a nightgown. But I liked the hat.
I think it was giving Ebenezer Scrooge.
It was.
And then he wore it with sneakers.
Jesse was Hugh Hefner, basically. Sleazy. Mm-hmm. I like Gabby. She was the sheep. Lexi, I'm not sure what she was, but she looked good.
Lexi. It
was
a cloud.
A cloud. Okay, that makes. She had like the fluffy bikini and then the light up skirt. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. But everyone's partying. Everything, it looks good. And then Jesse, he's telling, I think, Lindsay how Lexi's mad at him. Mm-hmm. He's like, "What did you ask her? Why?" And he's like, that would be the good thing to do. And then Lexi walks up and he's like, why are you mad at me? And I'm like, okay, well, you didn't have to ask her in front of people. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, okay, let's talk. Mm-hmm. So they go to talk. And Lexi handles business.
She sure does. She takes those glasses off his face. And she says, we need to talk. And this is like a serious talk.
Mm-hmm. She's like, it's come to my attention that you've low-key kind of been talking shit about me to the rest of the house, talking about how I'm trying to make me look jealous. Meanwhile, and how I have all these yellow flags. Meanwhile, you have the biggest red flag because you got a toe sucked. And he was like, that was a joke.
If that's your first defense after she said several things, you're doomed.
Also, you're a liar because you're like, I didn't think you would care. Then why did you purposely not tell her before becoming exclusive? And why are you now saying in interviews that you knew you wanted to not tell her as long as possible?
Why did you choose to start a relationship to make things better after the fact? Because you knew it was bad. You knew it was pretty bad.
He's despicable. And she's just popping off. She's like, look, your actions, I've been told you act single when I'm not around. And like, you need to understand that your actions are making people feel icky. And this is how it's coming across. And he's like, well, my friends aren't telling me that to my face.
Which is kind of true. I don't think anybody's really confront. They've said things, but not.
They've mentioned that the flirting with Ciara was a lot.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything because I think because they themselves are realizing, no, Jesse's talking shit, but like he's kind of representing it.
Yeah, no, because they never heard Lexi's side.
Yeah. So they didn't know that it was anything wrong.
Right, but they did note that you were talking bad about her, basically making her look bad.
Yes. And so she's just going off. She's like, do I do anything or have I done anything that would make you feel the way I feel right now?
I guess not. I guess not.
And he's like borderline crying during this. He's like, well, like, I just don't understand. I feel like we're like so fragile and I just feel like my friends are like, I can't deal with what my idiot friends are saying. And like, I just don't know.
He's such a victim. And it's just like, this is not how you have a constructive conversation. If you're in your feelings, ask for a break. Hey, Lexi, I hear you. Let's talk later. But to just be in the defensive and not even really hear anything she said, like it's everybody else's fault. Oh, it was a joke. Oh, they didn't tell me. Oh, well, they're not telling me. You're not even acknowledging the things that she's saying.
Right.
Which is, why are you telling them I'm being clingy and I'm being this? Why
what do you want me to be, a robot? I can't express my feelings?
That's insane to say.
Oh my god.
No, you don't have to be a robot, but exercise some self-control.
She's like, just don't make me look stupid.
Right. Maybe don't. But sorry, Lexi, he doesn't know what that means. So we need to be specific. Jesse, you have to lay it out for him. Because he's like, I'm not making you look stupid. No, you got to lay out all the things with specific examples, maybe visual ones, like, hey, see how Tom Schwartz drags Katie here? Don't do that to me. Like, I feel like she has to
right.
be like super specific or my guy's not gonna get it.
Yeah. But he doesn't get it because to this day he's like, because apparently, in press, Lexi's saying like she felt like Jesse drove a wedge between her and the girls. He's saying that's a cop out and she hasn't tried with them. I think it's somewhere in the middle, but I don't think Jesse helped by kicking it off the way he did.
Yeah.
And definitely plays a big part in it.
Right, because I think to someone said like, I want Jesse, I think Amanda was saying like, I want Jesse to feel like he can vent and talk to us. But I don't think it's fair that Lexi doesn't know this information, you know? So, like, she was torn in that sense because, they do know him more. He is their friend. Lexi is new, but she still felt like she should tell Lexi what's up. So,
yeah,
this conversation is Lexi talking to a wall. Basically. He's not being receptive.
I thought we were going to be like boyfriend, girlfriend after this.
That's manipulative as hell. Like, why would you... Why?
It's Aaron saying I love you to Kaylor after Casa Amor when they're fighting for the 18th time.
Love Island USA. No, it pretty much is. It's like you're trying to make it better, or I don't know. That I just think that's super manipulative. Also because we know now that she didn't really even want that.
Right.
Like she said that earlier, like, I don't want to be exclusive right now. And you're like,
yeah.
ugh.
And even in this, she's like, we can take it slower. Like, we can take a beat. Yeah. And like, but he's hurt because he's dumb and he liked her, but he's insecure, but was trying to push the jealousy onto her. Yeah. Because he didn't want to look jealous.
Yeah.
But while they're arguing, Lindsay and Paige are watching. They're having a cute moment. Lindsay's checking up on her, and Paige is like, yeah, I was feeling anxious. I just needed the day. But how are you? And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm giving birth in 3 months. She's like, that's crazy. And it was cute. I love seeing them together. Yeah, Paige on Watch What Happens Live says she's obsessed with Lindsay, that they're really close.
Oh, now. I love that.
Like, I love it.
Yeah.
And then so they call Lexi over after the conversation. But while that, Jesse and West are talking, and he's just like, am I an idiot? Like, I thought we were going to be together, and now I don't even know. Like, I feel like I changed all my behavior, but, like, the girls are trying to start shit, and they're not my real friends.
That's funny because what behavior did you change? And also, not just the girls, the man you're speaking to was just talking bad about you.
He doesn't know about that. I wonder if that gets brought up at the reunion they just filmed today. I'm like, West added to it.
Right, because not all the episodes are out yet.
No.
So it's like, actually, it was your boy, your homeboy, your best friend, your roommate. Yeah, him. He was saying that you act jealous.
Mm-hmm. And Jesse's just venting to West, and West is just looking shocked, just like, oh, that's crazy. Like, like kind of trying not to laugh, which was kind of funny. And then Ciara and Carl are talking. He's about to profess his love.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, it's just like him basically telling us, no one's Ciara. And like, she's a total babe. And like, I want to be with her. Mm-hmm. And like, I like dating, but I like Ciara. And I'm like, do you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So.
Wait, you don't believe him?
I don't not believe him. It just feels random. Like, he hasn't really said anything all season. Now, all of a sudden, he's like, I have a crush on Ciara. I'm like, and the way he says it in the interview is a little like, she's a total babe. I'm like, oh, okay.
He is an eligible bachelor this summer.
He is a bachelor. He is.
Not eligible?
To someone. I don't know about the Ciara. Ciara needs to stay away from not only Bravo men, but these Summer House men. But Ciara does need someone of a higher caliber.
Oh, of course. Only the best for Ciara.
Yeah.
But earlier in the season, I saw them talking to each other, and I was like, wait,
they have cute moments. I like them as friends. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think they're cute together and like that in that way. But I don't know about like serious relationship.
In my defense, I only really saw them joking with each other and standing next to each other.
This is true. I will say both Lexi and Paige. Lexi said that Ciara can do better on Watch What Happens Live than Carl. Mm-hmm. And Paige is like, aesthetically they look great, but mentally, no.
Really? Because I feel like he's super in touch with his feelings.
I think he's too, for lack of a better word, no, I just think he's too needy. He's a little like mama's boy.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, yeah, Ciara don't. But Paige, Gabby, and Lindsay are talking to Lexi, and Lexi tells them the conversation and all that. And Paige,
and she tells it correctly, by the way. Like,
she does. She doesn't miss a beat.
No, it's as if Fireflies was taking notes for her. Like, she had all of the talking points.
And yes, and Paige is basically just like, you know what? He's doing this because he's insecure. And like, had you done what he did the weekend you were gone, like you would be crucified. Mm-hmm. And then Lexi says, yeah, and get this. One night when we went out, Wes was drunk and like hanging on me, and I was just trying to help him up. And Jesse says, that was worse than anything I did the weekend you were away. No, and they're just like, what the fuck?
It literally wasn't. I think that was him in his drunk stupor trying to tell her he didn't like something, and it made him feel a way. But like the way it came across, it's just like so extreme. Like,
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
He holds that he liked that they flirted because it made him and Ciara's situation not look bad. But I stand with, I don't know, because I think it was all of the above, maybe. But that's not good, though, Jesse. Like, that's crazy and manipulative. And I want you to know that's not better than simply being jealous.
Right.
Being jealous might actually have been a little bit better because it's, like, more human and just kind of like, oh, like, it's a projection and, like, a double standard. But at least it's like, okay, it shows you care. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
No, he said both. He said, I didn't like it. And then he said, but this is great. I don't like it. It makes me feel, and I'm mad because we're in a fight, and I'm just like, I just hate this. And she's like, well, go to sleep. And then he was like, in the morning, he's like, well, that's good because if that can, he's just being weird.
He's awful.
It's kind of giving like, you did something weird, so you find like a way to make it better and make yourself look better, because you want to like. Yeah, but it's a good thing because
he thinks it will cancel out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no.
Like, you guys aren't going to show the clip in the driveway, right? Only the clip of me in the confessional saying it was good, right?
You won't pull the audio from behind the car.
No, because you didn't hear us, right? We weren't inside. We weren't ready. Yeah.
He forgets he's on a show. I'm like, this is your second season. You should be more mindful than your first season.
Yeah, like, especially after watching West get dragged through the mud. Like, you learned Jojo, have you learned nothing?
You deserve nothing. You're acting really bratty. And so Paige just asked, do you like him?
She's like, yeah. And they're like, okay, just making sure because
right. She's like, because like y'all are fighting a lot and it's like it's early enough, y'all don't really have a relationship, you could just leave, like if you don't like him, like. And then Lexi's like, he just goes on and complains that he's like, I've changed so much for you. And Paige is like, anybody who says that, do not be with them. Period.
So how are these girls being mean girls?
I'll wait. It sounds like she's giving pretty direct, honest,
solid advice,
friendly advice too. But I'm sure the internet I've been real quiet now.
Let us know. Y'all let us know, because this isn't the first time they've been direct and honest with Lexi about how things are going. So y'all let us know.
And I saw a sneak peek of next week where Jesse kind of confronts the girls.
Oh yeah.
And Paige is like, you can't tell us something and then get mad at us when we relay it.
Right.
And then he's just like, well, I wasn't anyway with... She kept saying, she's like, I would have cut your other ball off had I seen how you acted with Ciara that weekend. And he's like, I didn't act anyway. And then it ends with Ciara's like walking up. And I'm like, Ciara's about to like ream him out. And I'm so excited to see.
She's like, first, at 8:56 p.m. we were in the, or 8:56 a.m. we were in the floaty. I had my leg near yours, and you said you were horny. At
9:13, you then fell on me.
I imagine her with like an iPad of just like, yeah. So like, I asked production to give me.
I actually got timestamps from the cameraman.
No, Jesse, you're crazy. Like, so instead of listening and being open and receptive to what Lexi has to say, you're just gonna blame the messenger. Like, you're not even reflecting at least a little bit to hear what you did. Like, okay, she's just telling you that you told them one thing, and it's not actually how it is. And that makes me feel hurt when you do that. Like, why are you like, well, the message is bad, and blah, 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 fake news. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see the rest of this and how that plays out in the reunion they're filming today on Watch What Happens Live. The poll was like Team Jesse or Team Lexi. Majority chose Lexi. Paige is like, oh, I'm split between them, but the reunion film, so we'll find out there. Because I think they're friends with Jesse and like they're cool with Lexi, but I wonder if they feel a type of way about some of the interviews she's doing. Maybe there's more that Jesse's saying, but still, I think ultimately they will be, I think, Team Lexi. They've been saying from jump that Jesse's going to have the most to answer for at this reunion. Pre a trailer even being dropped, Ciara said it.
Well, that makes sense because what else has happened this summer?
Right.
Like, that's like really the main storyline.
Yeah. I'm ready to hear more about the... Paige answered a lot of questions about her breakup, but it was quick Watch What Happens Live, so you couldn't really get too in-depth. So I feel like the reunion's going to get more.
Is it almost over?
I think we have... Maybe, because this is 11, we probably have 4 or 5 more regular episodes.
And they still talk about stuff we haven't seen, right?
Yes, because they get the rest of the episodes before they film the reunion. Okay. So they get to watch them kind of all at once.
Okay, yeah, because we're on 11.
Yes. So they probably, I would guess they have 15 or 16.
Okay.
Before the reunion, which will probably be 2 parts.
I'm sad.
Really?
Yeah, because this is interesting now.
You're like, I'm actually into it now. Maggie was laughing. She was finishing the episode here and she was cackling.
I was. It was funny.
This was a good episode.
My highlight of my evening is Wes being like, actually, I was like, not your best friend.
That was funny.
Not your best friend who got in trouble for the same thing.
Right.
Not the only person who could sympathize with your relationship making it worse.
That was a plot twist I didn't see coming. But I was very thankful for it. West, you pulled through this episode.
Yes, you can.
We'll see the rest of this episode, but or the season.
Have you seen the guy on TikTok who's like, these are the people who can have a good night tonight? and he'll say like, people who ate apricots today, you can't have a good night. Like, I want to tell West, you can have a good night tonight. You did good today.
Ebenezer Scrooge outfit.
You did good today. Just take those shoes off. You did great.
Oh my gosh. I can't. With that,
That's
anything else?
The only thing is I realized Kyle's 42.
Oh, yes. Oh, briefly about Kyle. He's talking to, what's his name? Schwartz. About
that guy who came.
That one random guy who came.
Yeah.
About wanting a kid, and he thought he would have a kid now, and then next week we see him and Amanda are going to talk about it. I'm so bored and tired of the storyline because last season Amanda really wanted a kid, and Kyle said he wanted them to be more on the same page before, and he seemed very against it, and she wanted to move to Jersey, and he was like, oh no, I meant when the kids are older, and like all this. And now all of a sudden when Amanda's finally getting herself right and like finding like peace with her mental health and
launched
everything,
a business.
He's like, I really thought we would have a kid by now. It's like,
what?
Kyle's the ultimate gaslighter. I don't care. I hate him. I like him, but I hate him. I don't like him in a relationship or really in front. He's sometimes funny. I don't know. But this was annoying. I'm like, now you're going to make it that Amanda's the problem when she was the one who wanted a kid this whole time, and you try to act like she wasn't ready.
And now that she's like, since so much time has passed, I'm actually thinking I might be better off without one. You're going to just have a fit. So... It's interesting. That's very, very convenient for you. I bet he doesn't even want one.
I know,
he's just saying it to have a storyline or something. And then you have Schwartz there being like, yeah, we were together for 13 years and we didn't have a baby.
Thank God.
Yeah. Thank God.
He has a podcast now.
Of course he does. Oh my gosh. I'm so tired. Look. I get it. It's a great way to keep a following, to stay in the now, and but just leave some room for the regular folks like us who just want to have a podcast, be kind of good sometimes. The celebrities having podcasts make it so difficult to like raise in the...
They do. They're kicking us down.
They kind of are. I mean, like, how many do you listen to? I listen to like 4 or 5. Like, you can have a variety.
Yeah. I listen to a lot, but I don't listen to too many like celebrity podcasts.
Yeah, I like Keke Palmer's podcast.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I listen to a lot of recap ones.
Yes. Obviously like Rob and his friends. I like listening to old Big Brother podcasts when I'm bored. I dream about potentially auditioning one day.
You will. We'll get Maggie on Big Brother one day.
I should do it now.
And then we'll do Amazing Race. I will say, side note before we end, I am excited to see the reunion looks for Summer House. Because last season it was amazing. Ooh. They finally decided to have a color scheme. Because literally, I stand Summer House. They're all so beautiful. They dress so well throughout the season. But at reunions, it was like, what are we doing? It was not cohesive. Hardly anyone looked that great. It just was like, what's happening? So then finally last season, I think Paige had said that the girls were just like, we look crazy at reunions. We need to collaborate and like be more cohesive. And they did. Amazing. One of the best dress reunions. My favorite look, Gabby. She looked amazing. Ciara looked great. They all looked amazing.
That's interesting because Lexi is saying she didn't know the color scheme.
I wonder if they said, I hope they said a color scheme. I hope they respond to her.
It sounded like 2 people did, so I don't know why the rest of them have
maybe this time, because usually production will set a color scheme or a theme. Maybe they took note and did it themselves. So maybe Lexi was just asking, what are you wearing, hopefully. And it's not going to be everyone looking crazy. But we'll see. With that being said, I think that's it for today's episode.
I think that's it, yeah.
Thank y'all so much for listening.
Thanks.
Make sure to rate and review us. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Do it.
We love to shout those out.
Yes.
Spotify, you can leave comment. If you want to see our beautiful faces, instead of just listening to our beautiful voices, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Shade of It All Podcast. We also post clips on TikTok at The Shade of It All Podcast, Instagram at The Shade of It All Pod, and we will talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.